We're going to develop this clean swimming pool booking application with no coding experience required. This application can be created as long as you can use V0 and Cursor to give simple prompts. We have a beautiful landing page with services and facilities that the user can book. So let's get started. Here we are in V0 where we're going to give V0 a prompt for our website. So I'm going to ask it to create a clean UI for a swimming pool, and let's make it a public swimming pool booking website. So we're going to have services and facilities, and let's have a calendar for the booking. To make it easy to edit later, we're going to ask it to use Bootstrap and React. Now, V0 is going to take some time to design our website. So it's coding up our website here, and while it's doing that, we'll be able to see the preview. So it's loading up our preview, and so here it is. We have a nice landing page, booking button, services, facilities, and a calendar at the bottom. So that's exactly what we asked for. Now, let's give it some other suggestions. So, firstly, I'd like to ask a follow up. So, I'd like to have some images for the facilities and the services. So, V0 will modify the code that it gave us based on our further questions. It's going to code this up, and we should be able to see the preview shortly. So, without having to understand any of this code, we're able to generate this UI. And here we have it. So we have some images and great. Now, I don't like that they look exactly the same, so I'm going to ask it to use a different style for the facilities and the services. And I think that button is really weirdly positioned. So let's have it centered and larger. Okay, for the button. So it's going to be processing this response and it's coding up our website. Our preview is almost ready. So it'll take a bit of time to finish coding and then show us the results. And hey, it looks a lot better now. We have a centered button and these are a different color, which is very nice. And we still have our calendar right there. So that's perfect. Now, what I'm not liking as much is the image here. It's very weird and I don't want an image there. So I'm going to ask it to remove the image under book. Now the button. And let's have a form for members to register. Let's put it under the facilities. So V0 is going to take our prompt and work on coding it. And we'll have our preview shortly. And hey, so the image is gone and it looks a lot better now. That marks our UI being completed. So now we're going to create a brand new React Vite project and start editing it with Cursor. We're going to delete index.css and app.csx. Now we're going to copy over the code that was created by V0. So this has all of our UI, so our services, our facilities, and it looks great. So we'll copy it and paste it into app.jsx. Now scrolling all the way to the top, I'm gonna place the swimming pool booking with app. Now going to localhost, we can see that our UI looks great. So let's test out the calendar. I'm just gonna click and swimming practice, and it looks good. Let's book another for Jonna party. Okay, so the calendar looks great, and we have a nice registration form, and that's great. Now let's try to make some changes using Cursor AI. So firstly, I see that the facilities doesn't really have a lot of padding between it. So let's try to add some padding using Cursor AI. So firstly, I'm going to open up the chat with Control L or View, Appearance, Secondary Sidebar. Now I'm just going to ask it to please add a padding around the facilities boxes. So here it's just going to process the request, and it's provided some code suggestion, and I will click on apply and accept. So that's great. Now let's try to make another change. So looking here at our services, I can see that they're looking a little bit pointless because they don't have any prices. So I'm going to open up the chat again, and I'm going to ask it to please add a price for each service. So, and let's just say it's per 2 hour class. So it's generating some code for that, and I don't even have to read it. Once it's done, I'm just going to go to the top right and apply and continue and accept. So going back, that looks great. So now it has the price in the top right corner and the padding for the facilities. So it all looks fantastic. The bottom of each service box is a bit pointless though, because it just says the name again. So let's change that so that it says the name of a teacher and a description. So going back to our projects, I'm going to open up the chat, and I'm going to say at the bottom of each service box, it says the service name again. Change it to the name of the teacher and their qualifications. So say years of experience. Okay. It's generating the code for me, and I'm going to click on apply and accept it. So that looks great. All the changes have been made and they look fantastic. So now I'm going to focus on this registration form. Right now, when I make an entry, so let's fill it up with my number, let's say my registration type, and it doesn't do anything. So I would like it to actually book something in the calendar. So I'm going to go back to my code and ask it. So when I fill in the form, I wanted to add it to the calendar. So it should include a date. So I can put my date in the calendar. And when I submit, it should add that to the calendar. So I'm going to send that. And it's providing a suggestion. So I'm going to click on apply and confirm. So I'm going to just click on accept, and looking back, let's test it out. So let me register. We have the booking date. I'm going to be Samira. Samira Gmail. My phone number. And register. And hey, it added it. And we can still add it normally. So let's add a Lulu. Fantastic. So that's how easy it is to create a website using only Cursor AI and V0. We didn't have to write a single line of code or understand any of it.